Florida's first African-American state attorney already an open target for suspected race soldiers. This to be expected, of course, but when you do something so overt according to the system of racism, white supremacy, when you overtly disapprove, right, an egregious act in their eyes, you have to be tested. So, Florida State Attorney Amaris Ayala was pulled over. Believe this happened in June, but she was pulled over in Orlando, Florida, by a suspected race soldier, claiming, and I'm going to tell you a brief story of how this exact same situation happened to me last year. I'm going to share that with you in a minute. But she was pulled over by a suspected race soldier because of two things: illegal tint in her front windows, and the suspected race soldier ran her tags, saying that the tags came back unlisted or empty or something like that, to that effect, which I was accused of the very same exact thing last year. All right. Now, she made headlines. Like I said, she's the first African-American state attorney in the state of Florida. Amaris made headlines last year, and this story is actually coming from Blue Lives Matter, which, like I said, these guys are one of the most openly racist websites and social media posters I've ever seen. So they keep it 100 though with their racism, which I love. Keep it honest. But she made headlines earlier this year because she basically denied the death penalty of a alleged cop killer, an African-American named Markeith Lloyd. Okay. And when she denied the death penalty for the alleged cop killer Markeith Lloyd, she was removed right from that case. And ever since then, she's been an open target. She tried to file a lawsuit against the Florida Governor Rick Scott, and she was denied, and therefore she was ultimately removed from that case. So since then, she has been an open target, and this undoubtedly, I believe this was one of the things they're trying to do to her. Okay. Now there's a video on YouTube. They just uploaded webcam footage, or body cam footage rather, of the suspected race soldier pulling over the state attorney. All right. I'm not going to play that video, but I will say this. Like I said, a similar situation happened to me last year. And I was pulled over by a suspected race soldier for the city of Miami Gardens Police Department. All right. And I was with my two children, dropping them off of school to their elementary school. I was in a school zone driving at a stop sign. To my left, which was eastbound of where the stop sign was, I saw a Miami Gardens marked SUV. While I was at the stop sign, I made a full complete stop. As I hit the gas to go, that particular suspected race soldier in that marked SUV turned on his lights, made a U-turn, and went directly behind my vehicle. He pulled me over, rolled my windows down, and anybody who knows me personally, you know, I don't like suspected race soldiers. I don't like the law enforcement officer, especially when you do things unjustly. And I felt that this guy was doing things unjustly. So I was heated. I immediately said, "What exactly did you pull me over for?" He asked for my license, registration, etc., etc. Didn't give me an answer right away. I said, "Officer, I need to drop my kids off of school. What did I get pulled over for?" Then he came up with the excuse of saying window tint was too dark. Okay, flat out lie. My front windows, my front, not my rear, my front windows have no window tint. Now, this example posted by Blue Lives Matter, it says, this is an example of 75% tint. Well, first of all, my tint is clear. There's no tint in the front windows at all. So you can say it's similar to this, but it's not, because my truck, my SUV, I have a Tahoe, has no window tint in the front windows. None. So that was a flat out lie. Then he came up with the excuse of saying, well, I ran your plates and it came back with it registered as another vehicle. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I had this vehicle for a couple of years already. And how can it come back as a different vehicle? He's like, it came back as a Chevy pickup truck. You need to get that fixed. We need to make sure, because a lot of, then he came up with the excuse, because, you know, typical suspected race soldier ideology. They come up with a typical excuse. Well, we have a lot of car break-ins in this area, and I just wanted to make sure that when we run these plates, they're not a stolen vehicle, et cetera, right? Typical shit they make up. Oh, well, your car fit the description, or you fit the description of a XYZ. Always making shit up, right? So I was livid. My kids were crying hysterically in the back, and I did, you know, thank God I made it out alive, you know, because he actually called for backup, and it was a little bit of a scene, really. It was. My kids were terrified. They were in the back crying hysterically because this suspected race soldier was basically terrorizing me. As I said, law enforcement is the largest terrorist organization on the planet. There's nothing that you can do ever since they were incepted, ever since the inception of law enforcement. 1789 Judiciary Act. The Judiciary Act of 1789, ever since they were inserted in the so-called United States. Slave catchers. That's what they are, and that's what they continue to do. But like I said, my kids were terrified. That's something that they'll probably never forget. And of course, me. So after that, I immediately filed for a complaint. I went directly to the superior officer. I went directly to the City of Miami Gardens Police Department, filed a complaint, and made sure that an investigation was take place. So when I saw that video of the state attorney, she politely asked for the police officer's contact information, which is great. I went a step above. I sought after their supervisor, superior officer. I went straight to the City of Miami Gardens police station right after I dropped my kids off and filed a complaint. I met with the, I think it was the assistant police chief. I told him what happened. I went right in his office. I told him what happened. And they did an investigation for 1 week. Obviously, or not obviously. Yeah, obviously, they came up with nothing. But whenever you have a situation like that, if you make it out alive and you felt that you were treated unfairly, do an investigation. Go to the police station, ask for an investigation, and get that done ASAP. All right? It's all about principle. So that's what I did. So I'm ready. Like, in terms of, you know, being pulled over by police officers, I suggest you get, whatever city you live in, get the police chief's direct number or the assistant police chief's direct number. All right. Or the, a high ranking officer's direct number. Get in contact with them if you feel that you were, treated unfairly by suspected race soldiers. That's what I do. So I have the contact for Miami Gardens Police, City of Miami, and Miami-Dade County police officers. I have all of their direct contact information. So if I get in trouble, right, I will contact them immediately and get an investigation started. But yeah, ever since then, I have not revisited that area because of that. It traumatized my kids, and I've actually switched schools for my kids. So we don't have to deal with that particular situation ever again. Because that will never happen on my watch ever again. Not over my dead body. Right? So, do I believe that she was racially profiled? the African American state attorney, Amiris Ayala. Do I believe that? I do. I do. I truly believe that. She's a target. All right. That's my opinion. I believe that she is being targeted by these suspected race soldiers because of the blatant disrespect that she did by making sure that this alleged cop killer did not get the death penalty. So I do believe she's being targeted. I do that. All right. But like I said, if you feel that you are being mistreated unfairly by suspected race soldiers, start an investigation, contact the superior officer, and start an internal investigation. Bottom line, have their numbers, have their superior officers' numbers on speed dial, and get that investigation started. All right. So those are my thoughts on that, on the video. I'll have the link in the description so you can check out this particular story and watch the YouTube video of the state attorney getting pulled over by these suspected race soldiers. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, family. Until next time, Chauncey, a.k.a. the Black Separatist, signing out. Peace.